Hello and welcome to CUBN Christians United Broadcasting Network. This is the CUBN News Hour, and I am your host, Troy.
Now, today on our news, we have two slave nuns remembered for helping the needy. Sister Paula Muriel and Sister Margaret healed two nuns who worked as nurses and helped the poor in rural Mississippi were found slain in. Okay. That is not good news, ladies and gentlemen. That is not good news. According to this, it says they were found slain in T. There is no additional information on that. We have to figure out and find out what is in more detail of that. Hundreds of people found a cathedral in Mississippi's capital city on Monday to remember two nuns who spent decades helping the needy and were found stabbed to death last week in their home in one of the poorest counties of the state. Oh my Lord. That is very bad news. That is very bad news. You see, when I do these news, I kind of just grab it all and put it on and just say what is up. And when I read this, it just hits me sometimes because you can't have women of God murdered like that. It just can't happen. I mean, this is wrong. This is just whoever did it. I mean, if they find, let's just read more. Bail was denied during the initial court appearance for the man charged with 2 counts of capital murder in the slaying. So they caught this bastard. They both was 68. Ronnie Earl Sanders, 46. Murder and slaying of sisters Margaret Heald and Paula Merrill, both 68. So they were both 68 years old. Rodney Earl Sanders, 46, of Cusco, Mississippi, was also charged with 1 count of burglary and 1 count of grand larceny. He was not represented by an attorney during his appearance Monday afternoon in Durant City Court. City Judge Jim Arnold said the state will appoint an attorney for Sanders. So it seems like they caught the guy and he's going to get judged for doing what he did. Now, wow. Whew, this is crazy. I mean, capital murder is punishable by execution or life in prison. The sisters' religious orders have issued a joint statement against the death penalty. We are going to consider the heinous nature of the crime and their wishes, District Attorney Achille Malone Oliver said Monday, referring to the families of the sisters and their religious orders. Sanders confessed to the killings, but gave no reason, said Holmes County Sheriff Willie March, who was briefed by Durant Police and Mississippi Bureau of Investigation officials who took part in Sanders' interrogation. Sanders had been living about 15 miles east of the sisters' Durant home. He has been held at an undisclosed jail since his arrest late Friday. Sanders' wife attended the hearing and broke down afterward when addressing the family and friends of the nuns. I'm sorry, I don't know what to say to you all. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I can't take this Oh my God, Mary Sanders said. It's terrible, people. Meryl and Hild worked as nurse practitioners at Lexington Medical Clinic, about 10 miles west of Durant, where they often treated poor and uninsured patients with diabetes and other chronic conditions. Their bodies were found in their home after they failed to show up at work Thursday. The clinic in Lexington and the Nuns home in Durant are in Holmes County. Population 18,000, with 44% of its residents living in poverty. Holmes is the seventh poorest county in America, according to the Census Bureau. The killings shocked people in the small counties where the women committed their lives to helping the poor. Bishop Joseph Kapakis and more than 20 priests from the Diocese of Jackson celebrated a memorial mass on Monday at the small but ornate cathedral of St. Peter in downtown Jacksonville, about an hour's drive south of Durant. The front pews were filled by family members and sisters from Hild's and Merrill's religious orders, the Kentucky-based Sisters of Charity and Nazareth, and the School Sisters of the St. Francis of Milwaukee. The Rev. Greg Plata, who ministers at the church in Lexington, Mississippi, were held, and Merrill led Bible study. Praise them for their lives of service. Plata also noted the joint statement against the death penalty released Sunday by the sisters' orders. Justice for a heinous crime demands punishment, but it does not demand revenge, Plata said. On Sunday, more than 300 people attended a service at the church in Lexington. Warren Strayed, spokesman for the Department of Public Safety, which includes the Mississippi Bureau of Investigation, said the organization would neither confirm nor deny that Sanders confessed. Records from the Iowa Department of Corrections show Sanders was in prison from June 2004 to February 2011 on a conviction of second-degree robbery. Records show he also was in prison in Iowa from August 1999 to August 2002 on a conviction of theft, and from April to October 1996 for 2 counts of third offense drunken driving. Sanders was on probation after a prison term for a felony drunken driving conviction in Mississippi last year, said Grace Simmons Fisher, and spokesman for the Mississippi Department of Correction. He was also convicted of armed robbery in Holmes County, sentenced in 1986 and served 6 years. The Associated Press, Regular Vsauce contributed to Lexington, Mississippi, and Rebecca Santa contributed from New Orleans. This story has been corrected to show that Rodney Earl Sanders is facing 1 count of grand larceny and 1 count of burglary, not 1 count of burglary, grand larceny. Ladies and gentlemen, as in this situation, according to the state, we don't know the death penalty situation. Now, what he did is basically wrong. It's a sin. And to our laws, basically, it's a sin and you get basically terminated. Your life will be terminated. It takes someone or some place in a situation like this
to make a decision. And when they make this decision, they will have to face this decision for the rest of their life. Now, these women loved everyone where they worked at. They gave everything they have. Now, their life was taken away by this pathetic person. That's the bad news on how they got killed, on how their light was distinguished. The good news is they're with God now. They're with the soldiers in heaven to fight the battle that's coming. They're one of the leaders that God needs for this fight. They're in heaven now. They're happy. They're looking over everyone, and they're smiling at everyone. And they know one day we will all be together. I don't even want to read the title of this again. It was just depressing. But they're in God's hands now, and God will take care of them, lead them, show them everything, and reward them for all the good things that they've done. In Jesus' name.